wada danyo wada dang. Hango danyo ho wada dang. This is the Black Pot, aka Kuku Show them all, where we speak truth to power. Now here we don't criticize, but if we must criticize, we'll only just criticize to build and not to destroy. That is why we say we are in the service of God and country. From the newsreel, we endeavor to always keep it real. This is the voice of the people, and the voice of the people is the voice of God. This is the Black Pot, aka Kuku Show them all, and my name Black Rasta. Now today we have a number of issues, so we must run fast like the herd. My brother, my sister. Now from Graphic Online, this is the national communicator. My brother, my sister, and this one says Ghana's economy will not collapse if American businesses pull out. Sam George. Now, the Member of Parliament for Ningo Pram Samuel George Nate is of the view that Ghana's economy will not collapse if American businesses decide to pull out of the country following the passage of Ghana's Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill 2021. Now, the controversial anti-LGBTQ legislation, which prohibits lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender activities and criminalizes their promotion, advocacy, and funding in the country, was unanimously passed by Parliament on Wednesday, February 28, 2024, after 3 long years since it was introduced on the floor of Parliament. Now, the anti-LGBTQ bill, if assented to by the president, will, among other things, impose sanctions on willful promotion and engaging in LGBTQ activities in the country. Now, the bill prescribed a minimum sentence of 6 months and maximum 3 years for persons caught in the act of same-sex activities. However, persons found guilty of willfully promoting or advocating or funding the activities of LGBTQ will, upon conviction, face 3 years maximum, a minimum, I beg your pardon, and 5 years maximum imprisonment. Now, the Dingo Pram legislator, who was speaking with a Nigerian-based News Central TV, said, American businesses in Ghana are not in Ghana because of LGBTQ+, and that they are in Ghana because they make profit. For him, Americans ought to stay away from Ghanaian local politics, stressing that Ghana is a sovereign nation. Mr. Sam George called on African nations to be stronger and firm in their decisions. He said Americans and Western nations do business with nations such as Qatar and Saudi Arabia, but such nations have death sentences for persons who are caught in same-sex activities. Oh gosh. Oh yes. My brother, my sister, it is not about the legalization or the decriminalization of LGBTQI plus activities. I want to look at what Sam George is saying in an independent nation like Ghana. My brother, my sister, we chased out England. We chased out every colonial power all across Africa because we wanted to rule ourselves. At the time we were kicking out England, at the time we were kicking out Portugal, at the time we were kicking out Spain, at the time we were kicking out all these nations from our country, did we ever for once say to ourselves that our economies would collapse without them? No, the most important thing at the time was our independence and sovereignty. Should I repeat that, my brother? When we were busily asking the British to leave us, when some other elements said as soon as possible, Kwame Nkrumah said leave now. At the time, did we ever think about the collapse of our economy because the British would leave us, because the Portuguese and the Spanish would leave us? No, we didn't think about that. The most important thing at the time was our sovereignty. The most important thing at the time was our independence, so we could bring to play our own brains and our own acumen. Today, all of a sudden, the narrative has changed. If America decides to leave our country, then our country would collapse. What arrogance! If Britain decides to pull out businesses from Ghana, then Ghana would collapse. What arrogance! What is your independence? What are you celebrating every 6th of March like today? My brother, my sister, you are celebrating foolishness and idiocy. You are celebrating dependence. You are not celebrating independence if this is how you think. Sam George is a brilliant young man, and every time this brother speaks, my brother, trust me, I see a lot of wisdom. He might have a few excesses like all of us do, but my brother, my sister, all in all, this is a brother who was Ghana beating right in his heart. Hear me now. Now we are saying that if the LGBTQI plus bill is passed, the so-called, my brother, my sister, then America would get angry and America would decide to pull out its businesses, and by so doing, the Ghanaian economy would collapse. If this is how you think, and if this is true, then please let us sell back the country to America. Let us please beg America to come and colonize Africa, having taken the baton from Britain. It's a shame that such an independent country will be thinking like that. Shame on the finance minister. These are the people who should be at the gates of hell, being punished night and day, because they demean our country and make our country feel like it is nothing but a certain kind of colony for the West. My brother, my sister, what meaning does it make to say America will pull out its businesses and therefore the Ghanaian economy will collapse? Is America here on charity basis? The American businesses or the outfits are called businesses and not charity organizations. Business is all about making profit. If America is in this country, it is not here for charity reasons. America is here for business reasons, and therefore, as every business is profit oriented, my brother, my sister, this is the reason America is here. If the gold is not enough to keep our nation afloat, if the diamond is not able to do it, if the oil is not able to do it as well, then I wonder what else can do it. Not even America can save the Ghanaian economy. Can I take you back into history? Listen. There was a time when the Cold War was on. Russia was on one side, America was on one side. Ghana seemed to be topping the scales down to the Russian side. The Americans still pretended to be friends of Ghana. When Kwame Nkrumah asked for support from America to be able to keep the economy afloat in terms of a loan, because Ghana was a friend of America, America promised it would do it. But from when America realized that Ghana was getting closer and closer to Russia, America backed down and decided not to aid Ghana when Ghana had thrown all its support and all its hope on America to support its economy. At the end of the day, the same America that refused to help Ghana economically decided to pump money to idiotic soldiers to topple the government of Kwame Nkrumah. I don't know how many people are listening to this. I need 200,000 Ghana cedis from you to be able to keep my family alive. Bones, blood, and flesh. Now you told me in a promise that you will do it. After some time you decide that you will not do it when I have thrown all my hope on you. Now you give the same money, 3 times that, to my enemies to destroy my family. My brother, my sister, can you be trusted again? My brother, my sister, we are called an independent nation not because of our geographical location. We are called an independent nation all because we are a nation that has come through a lot of turbulence and a lot of trouble, a lot of suffering and a lot of war. When we wanted the British to leave, it did not come on a silver platter. A lot of us were gunned down. We all remember the crossroads shooting when Sergeant Ajete and the rest of them were gunned down in cold blood. My brother, my sister, we all remember when Kwame Nkrumah and the rest, the so-called Big Six, were locked up in prisons in Gambaga and brought all the way down to Jamestown and the rest of the country, humiliating and dehumanizing them, all because we wanted our independence. If we shed blood and sweated, my brother, my sister, to be able to come down this lane, not even America can stop us. Not England can stop us. Not Brazil, not China, not Japan. No country in the world can stop the movement of Ghana from where it is now to where it wants to go. Its destiny is in its own hands. It's because of dirty, idiotic leaders who have no common sense. That is why this country continues to suffer. It is because of idiotic leaders, foolish leaders who studied in England and have no common sense. That is why the independence of Ghana is meaningless today. Remember when Kwame Nkrumah told us that the independence of Ghana is meaningless unless it is linked up with the total liberation of the whole of Africa. Today, we have decoupled Africa. We are not united. We believe that we are called an AU. Yes. Oh, my brother, my sister, yet the so-called AU cannot even have its own meetings and conferences in Africa. We have to go to France, we have to go to England, we have to go to America in order to assemble as African people. Why would the West not look down on us? America is in Qatar, America is in Saudi Arabia, doing business and enjoying the business. My brother, my sister, Trump and the present president of America, my brother, my sister, Joe Biden, are in bed with Saudi Arabia, even though a Saudi journalist was slaughtered in cold blood by the authorities of Saudi Arabia. They pretended to care about it, but today as it stands, they have relegated everything to the background, all because of the oil money coming from Saudi Arabia. Yet Saudi Arabia has one of the worst laws against LGBTQI+. Has America pulled out its businesses from Saudi Arabia? Has America pulled out its businesses from Qatar? My brother, my sister, this insult must stop. Our leaders have sold us out, and they are not even ashamed going to parade themselves on Independence Day and give us speeches that could only be told by fools. I am so angry, my brother. Everything is about America. Everything is about England. Everything is about China. Where is your Ghana? When is Ghana going to be truly independent? What a shame. To Sam George, I want to say thank you so much. Again, remember, this is not even about LGBTQI+ issues. I am talking about the independence of this nation. If we are a sovereign nation, then we must be able to parade and charade our sovereignty. My brother, my sister, I live it here. Now the next thing I would like to look at, my brother, my sister, is here. Hey, interesting things are happening in the nation. And I'm reading this from Ghana Web. My brother, my sister, open up your ears and listen. It's fake news. Pianim on being part of Baumia's manifesto team. Renowned economist and New Patriotic Party NPP stalwart Kwame Pianim has denied reports of his appointment as an advisor to the economy sub-committee of the manifesto committee of Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, the flag bearer of the ruling New Patriotic Party. Now, according to Kwame Pianim, nobody has called to make an offer of the appointment for him to even consider accepting. TreeNews.com reports. Now, the elder statesman described reports of him being appointed as a member of the manifesto committee as fake news. I think it's fake news. Nobody has talked to me. Nobody has contacted me. I didn't even know when they were inaugurating it. Now this is so clear what a liar can do so desperately. Bawumia is the biggest liar Satan has ever created. Bawumia is the biggest liar Lucifer has ever created in our political space. My brother, this is the third time the so-called members of the manifesto committee are coming out to deny being part of this dirty committee. Kwame Pianim the other day came out and made it clear that he is not a member of any political party, that he has not accepted to become a member of the manifesto committee. The other day I called him and I spoke to him. He said, yes, they spoke to me, but I never told them I wanted to be part of the committee. If anything at all, if they wanted my ideas, they must pay me for being part of the committee to share my ideas. That was what he told me on the phone. Another woman came out and denied being the person put in that committee. Today, Kwame Pianim has come out to call it fake news. How desperate can Mahamudu Bawumia be in order to be president? How desperate? This guy is so desperate, it stinks. You get up and then you put prominent people's names in your dirty committee of manifesto, whatever, cockroaches and lizards. You destroy their hard-earned reputation. You put their careers at risk and in total jeopardy. At the end of the day, they come out and they say it's nothing but fake news. This is a fake vice president. He's a fake economist. And if you ever vote him as president, you would have a fake president, worse than Nana Akufo-Addo, worse than the most terrible dictator this nation has ever had in Africa as a whole. It's a shame. Why didn't they put my name there? They can't touch fire. My brother, my sister, thanks so much to Kwame Pianim. He's a renowned economist. And he will not play with cockroaches and lizards in the so-called manifesto committee. A committee of tea drinkers and liars. A committee of people who have come together just to tell lies and create more lies, to inundate the Ghanaian ears with lies. This is Ghana's political Mr. Bean. Next thing I want to look at, and this I want to be very brief and quick. This one I'm reading from Peace FM Online, and it says, E-levy was signed into law while it was in court. E-levy was signed into law while it was still in court. Professor Gachi replies President Akufo-Addo. I read, Professor John Gachi, Dean of the University of Cape Coast Business School, has criticized the position of President Akufo-Addo to defer assenting to the anti-LGBTQI plus bill after a Supreme Court ruling on the matter. President Akufo-Addo, in his initial remarks following the passage of the Proper Human Sexual Rights and Ghanaian Family Values Bill by Parliament, noted that Ghanaians hold hands while awaiting the decision from the Supreme Court before any action is taken. But Professor Gachi, speaking on TV3's Ghana Tonight program on March 4, questioned the basics of the president's assertion because the bill is yet to become law, adding when e-levy, that's the Electronic Transaction Service Levy, was sent to court, the president still went ahead to sign the e-levy into law while it was still in court. Now this is very clear that we have a president who is very, 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 very pretentiously hypocritical. He told Kamala Harris, oh, don't worry. Whatever they do, the shenanigans they will go through and the gymnastics in Parliament. At the end of the day, that bill would land on my table and I have the final say. Hey, if this was in the days of the military, I would have encouraged the military to do some things. This old man, I would have asked the military to bring him forward and teach him a good lesson in discipline and humility. Such an arrogant. Leave it there, my brethren. This was what he told Kamala Harris. A country of about 36 million people, represented by the Parliament of Ghana, different constituencies. They all decided that this LGBTQI thing, a huge majority of Ghanaians do not like it. In fact, 100% of the Parliament House voted against LGBTQI plus in Ghana. In other words, if the Parliament represents Ghana, then the whole of Ghana voted against it. They said they don't want it. They said they need more time to think about this LGBTQI thing. My brother, my sister, because of some money, the thieving leaders of our nation want some cheap money from America and some other countries. They would tick and talk and be whipped in line, tagging along all American whims and caprices. I am shocked to the bone. Well, I saw independence. Today, Kwame Nkrumah will be shaking in his grave and shedding bitter tears. Today, all our well-meaning leaders lying in their graves will weep tears of blood. Where is the independence they fought for? If America with its money can decide your line of thinking, if England with its money can decide your line of thinking, then you are a foolish nation. What is the value of your gold and your diamond? What is the value of your lithium? What is the value of your oil? What is the value of your flora and fauna? All that well endowed is nothing. The American money is better than all the gold we have in Ghana. The British money is better than all the diamond we have in this country. The Chinese money is worthy more than every natural resource we have in this nation. Then we are not an independent nation. We are a foolish criminal nation full of criminals, thieves, and corrupt people. I am so ashamed of our leaders. Yet Independence Day, they are sitting there to tell Kwakua Nancy tales. Firebone them. Wicked people. My brother, when E-Levy favored them, they quickly signed it into law without even thinking that it was in the Supreme Court. Today, they are directing you to the Apex Court, telling you, oh, it is still in court, because they have their Manchester United there to do their bidding. Fire will burn all these people one after the other. Tonight, I call on the fire of the Almighty God, on the bald head of the president. I call on the fire of the Almighty to come down upon them like Sodom and Gomorrah. I call upon earthquake in their sleep. May they see wicked things so that when they wake up, they will think like human beings. Hallelujah. Now, well, it looks like I've run out of time, but let me just do this quickly. It says, anti-gay bill isn't a referendum by the entire nation. Don't sanction us because we are already suffering. And this is Kwame Pianim telling America. A renowned economist, Mr. Kwame Pianim, has explained to the United States of America that the anti-gay bill is not a referendum that was passed by the entire people of Ghana. Hence, sanctions should not be meted out to the entire nation. To that end, he has appealed to the US and other countries that are against the anti-gay bill passed by Ghana's parliament to rather direct their anger towards the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin, and all the members of Parliament who supported and got it passed. I think sometimes Kwame Pianim sleeps on the wrong side of his body. I think sometimes Kwame Pianim drinks too much tea. So he says things by heart. listen to what a renowned economist. If this was said by a mechanic, I would have understood. If this was said by a postmaster, I would understand. If this was said by a doctor, medical doctor, I would understand. But this is a renowned economist. He knows everything about the economy and economics. He says he's begging America not to sanction Ghana because it was not the whole of Ghana that voted. It was the parliamentarians and the Speaker of Parliament. What ignorance. What an insult to the integrity of the sovereignty of Ghana. Kwame Pianim, what is this? What is the meaning of the parliament? It's a representative of the whole Ghana. Every part of Ghana is represented in parliament. Forget about the Sal people who were denied their right to be in parliament. It's a shame. Apart from them, every single Ghanaian is represented in parliament. Before parliamentarians vote, they are supposed to meet their constituents in their constituencies and demand from them what the general view is. Parliamentarians do not just get up, follow their own whims and caprices and vote just anyhow. If you are a good MP, you are supposed to seek the consent of your people in every voting. My brother, my sister, if they did that, then they are representing the people. If parliament does not represent the people, then let's close it down and write on the parliament house general toilets or public toilet. The parliament will cease to be a parliament house. If parliamentarians do not listen to their constituencies and their constituents, we will rename the Parliament of Ghana to the General Public Toilet of Ghana. Kwame Pianim, I don't know if you have been misquoted, but if this is what you truly said, it's a disgrace. You are demeaning Parliament. You are demeaning the power of Parliament to represent the people. That is why every constituency is represented in Parliament. We all cannot come and sit in the Parliament house. We must trust our MPs to be able to decide for us. But before they decide on major issues like this, they need to talk to us. What a shame. Kwame Pianim, that America should not sanction us. When is Ghana going to be powerful enough to also say we are going to sanction America, and America will be on its knees begging that it should never be sanctioned? Will that time ever come? What is the Organization of Africa Unity, now called the AU, doing? We can't come together and fight for ourselves against all these dirty sanctions. Hey! If we are at the beck and call of the sanctions of America and England and the rest, then we are not fit to be called a nation. We are an empty box. I am mad and angry. If America decides to sanction Ghana, so be it. But because of our corrupt, dirty-minded leaders who steal every now and then, with no respect to the cause of the heritage of Ghana, then my brother, my sister, that is when we have recourse to public charity like the charity of America. What a shame. I leave it here. I wanted to end here, but my producer says take the last one. Now, this one here is from City Newsroom. He says, 67th Independence Day. Let's unite and focus on agriculture. And this is coming from John Dumelo. I love this. Multifaceted celebrity John Dumelo has encouraged Ghanaians to venture into agriculture. In a video on Ghana's 67th Independence Day shared on X, the actor, politician, and farmer described agriculture as a realm of possibilities for a greater Ghana. Oh gosh. If I were the president of Ghana, and I will never be because I know my calling and my destiny. Listen, agriculture would be the main thing. The main thing, my brother, my sister. Let's deal with agriculture. Agriculture is the issue. Put aside the gold. Leave the diamond there in peace. Leave the oil there in peace. And deal with agriculture. Grow your flora and fauna. Oh my God. Grow what you eat. Eat what you grow. Oh gosh. Nobody can ever dare you if everything is about agriculture. John Dumelo has made a lot of sense. An agrarian economy is huge and good. Which are the biggest cash crops we have in the world? We have cocoa. Now we can even make oil out of cocoa. Shea nuts are there and all those. But we want to destroy the land with gold mining, diamond mining, bauxite mining, oil mining, and all kinds of mining, destroying our flora and fauna. I leave it here, my brethren. My name is Black Rasta, and I want to say thank you so much. I appreciate you, and I love you. It's been the Black Pot, a.k.a. Kukushonomo, and here we speak truth to power.